Welcome to our after church tea time. Today with Diona, Lisi, Deborah, and Faku. And we talk about the sermon from Jason and Chrissy. You are unstoppable with persistence. And I would like to open the floor that you share your insights about the sermon and what was very important for you, what you received through the sermon.
I can start us off. I thought this was an amazing sermon, a really great topic. I think what really stood out for me, or one of the things, there were so many juicy nuggets in there, but the bit about persistence and building trust throughout the journey, and persistence being a way to kind of develop that confidence and that trust in yourself and that trust in God, right? And that's been really key for me in my journey, especially like when it comes to like my weight loss, for example. It's before it was a really big struggle. And what I had to learn was that like my body was not comfortable. It felt like my body was not comfortable losing weight because I wasn't really taking care of it. And so even when I started to think that I was taking care of it, I realized like I had a long ways to go in rebuilding that trust with my body, for example, right? Because I wasn't eating 3 meals a day. I wasn't, exercising regularly. And so I started doing these things. And for a couple of weeks, I'm like, why am I still not losing weight? And so, I worked with my coaches. I even got like a weight loss coach as well. And everyone said you have to be persistent, right? You have to be consistent. And what I really took away from that was like my body had to learn how to trust me again. My body had to learn like, is she really going to continue to eat 3 meals a day? If she loses this weight, is she going to continue to exercise? Is she going to continue to, honor this space? And I feel like it's a reflection of, my trust within myself and my trust in God, right? And so yeah, being persistent and consistent is so important to building that trust. And I love how that was emphasized in the sermon.
Oh my gosh, I relate to everything you shared, Deanna. I'm also on a weight loss journey, and same, like I've been throughout my whole life in so many programs and yo-yo diets where it was like, just like what you said, like I would be on it for 2, 3 weeks and not see anything and then just kind of give up. And then, the weight climbed higher. And then this past year, I had a large health issue come out and it stacked up even more. And so I'm doing the same exact thing. Like I'm um, committing to a path. And like for me, that's divine dish combined with measuring my calories, my caloric intake, and having that like, but it just I saw how much it required support. Like I tried to do everything on my own, it did not work. And that persistence, like I didn't need to put it all on my shoulders. Like I could call on support. Like I have the structure of Divine Dish every day, plus like a way, an app to enter my calories and check on me if I don't do it. And so it's like I love how you said like it's building trust with yourself and how your body is, you're rebuilding that relationship and that trust with your body. And that's kind of exactly like what Jason and Chrissy were talking about with respect to having an awareness is one of the first things they shared, where like when you have an awareness about something and you keep being aware of it, that's where you build trust with yourself. It's they were speaking of that when They were talking about if you've been given an awareness and keep like not looking at it or not persisting through what you're being shown. And I know that I've done that. And I always got there in the end, but only after, scraping my elbows and knees a bunch because I didn't listen and I wanted to be right. I don't do that anymore, but it's really healing to just persist through and bring awareness into the place where it wasn't.
I love how you both explained how being persistent also helped you in your healing your body journey. I have the two.
Oh yeah. But we all have innocence. Like.
Oh my God, I learned to be persistent, and also how I need to learn to trust myself. Like I had to learn to eat 3 meals a day, and I also learned it with the support of Divine Dish. And I still need to just be persistent in also my transgender journey, because it feels so good being your true self. And so I would like to have it already, how I feel it inside of me on the outside immediately, because it feels so amazing. And with the teaching, I'm able to access this part inside of me where I am my true self, where I feel just in love with myself. Every time, again and again, like Jason and Chrissy shared, love myself in this part where I don't feel love. And I have to do it again and again. And I have to keep going, even.
Yeah, every day. Even there are moments like we all had that moment where we wanted to give up.
Even
like
when
us when we came
Oh my
together,
God.
or because like when I was listening to the sermon, Jason was speaking about this persistence, and he was talking about how sometimes we will have a block or a challenge, and we will kind of like would like to go around it or skip it, because what you want is right like here, but you have to go through what is here first. And it reminded me when I started this journey too, like I had to be very patient with the whole process of change that was happening. And I, of course, sinned of trying to force something before it was time. And life, God, however we want to call it, was quite there just to correct that very quickly. Thus, coming into this teaching and coming to, like the whole healing journey. So I love that persistence kind of like goes hand in hand with patience too. And I was something that I did want to share while I was listening to Diona, was that because you picked up this relationship with building trust again that Jason and Chrissy always were also sharing about. And I was getting the feeling that that trust gets to be rebuilt because you're going to the place where you chose separation, as they were sharing through this quote from the prayer, and you're making a different choice. So you're kind of like showing yourself like, oh, okay, I'm not going to stick to this like the entire time. And I feel like that was a very beautiful nugget.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I love what you said, Paco, about how sometimes it may not look how you want it to on the outside, and you just have to keep going. Like I feel like I've probably mentioned that to my coaches in every session. I'm like, I'm feeling good on the inside and I just don't see it on the outside. And they're like, keep going, keep going. And as I continue to like harness that good feeling on the inside and build that relationship with God internally, I recognize like when I surrender right? The next step is right there in front of me, and there's the action step to manifest what I want on the outside. And recognizing that it's a process, like Deb was saying, like Jason had mentioned, you have to do what's in front of you. You can't just skip to, the finish line. You have to take each step ahead. And so slowly, like I've been trying to manifest like a new living environment, a new home, a new apartment, just something better. And I can't seem to find the right one. And so what I'm realizing is like God is telling me I need to take care of the apartment that I'm in now. Like, am I cleaning it up regularly? Am I keeping the floors clean? Am I keeping the walls clean? Like, or am I just letting the trash everywhere? Because how can he give me a new house and I'm not even taking care of this one? And so now I'm like in the process of redecorating and being consistent and cleaning and, taking those steps. So yeah, I'm learning that you have to be persistent. It is a process, and you just have to take each individual step as you go.
Yeah, that reminds me of what Shaleia said. Her spiritual teacher told her a long time ago, you got to love it before you leave it. And I know in my experience, if I don't and I try to go to the next thing, well, guess what? I've just got a bigger house with more trash. Like it's just the same block follows me until I heal it. Same with my twin flame journey. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, we were coming kind of like to the same realization very recently, because of course, like your desires and your dreams are as big as they are, but you have to grow yourself into them a lot of times. Like this is what the whole teaching teaches us, it's not that the thing that we desire is not there, it's that we need to match it. And so like Diona was sharing, I cannot manifest a new apartment if I'm barely taking care of this one. Then the problem is going to be bigger, like Lizzie was also sharing. So yeah, and of course I've had the same thing. I remember Jeff very clearly once saying, it's like, stop trying to skip steps. And I was like, okay.
What?
Like, stop trying to be 5 steps ahead. Like
What?
that's not where we are. That's not where you are.
Mm.
Okay. And yeah, of course, we can get a little impatient sometimes with the journey. But that's the whole point of kind of like keep going at it and having faith, because they were also touching upon just trusting the process. There was also for me like a time in my twin flame journey. You've been a student for 2 or 3 years now. I said, how come you don't know who your twin flame is? I was like, I don't know. The guy I think is running farther away. So, and if it would have been very easy for me to kind of like throw in the towel, like nothing is moving. Keep healing, I keep taking the steps, I keep doing everything that's to the best of my abilities, and this person still doesn't reveal to me. And Chrissy was also sharing, like we see this in the community, especially for newcomers. It's kind of like the first challenge that they get, it's like, this is not worth it. But that's not true. You just have to keep chopping at it.
There is the moment the persistence kicks in.
Yeah, because in truth, you're building, like Jason was saying, momentum. So it's, and like Alexandra and Laurentiu were sharing too in the introduction, it's like in a video game, you only lose if you give up. So the moment you drop the ball, it's not like you are gonna lose, because you can always make a different choice and you can always start again, but you have to start from scratch. So every effort that you put in, you're gonna have to build that up again. And best thing is that you just keep going. Make a pause if you need to, but just don't give up. Keep going, and it pays off, because it kind of what is the English word I'm looking for? It compounds on itself. So there will be that kind of like clicking moment.
Mm-hmm. It pays off every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true, especially I play video games, and I'm in Laurentiu and Alexandra's play and gaming workshop every Saturday at 11 o'clock. Plug. Anyway, so last year when Nightmare Craft came out, the first thing you have to do is you have to get across this bridge that has a lot of holes and spider webs, and werewolves are chasing you, and if you get caught in a spider web, you're mincemeat. And so when I first played the game, I think I tried to run across that bridge 100 times. Finally, I was like, oh, I made it across. Yes. Oh, there's a hill. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then I got eaten again. So then I had to do the same thing over again, get across the bridge, get over the hill, get through this thicket of bushy area, and then run along a path and get into a house, close the door, and get safe. And I think it took me, what was it? It was a long time, and I got really frustrated, and I shared because in this Play Gaming workshop, you work through these challenges. They apply to your life. It's like microcosm, macrocosm. And I kept going and I kept going and I kept tears, lots of tears came out, lots of getting up out of my chair, walking around the room, like getting mad. And I just kept doing it. And I finally made it to the safe house, closed the door, and I was so rewarded. I got to ride a unicorn in the game. And the unicorn takes you through the woods, flowers and butterflies are everywhere. And you're just like, oh my God, it was so worth it. And then you get to your house and then the story begins. So that little beginning part is very challenging when you're first playing the game. Now, here's the cool thing. So Divine Gaming has added a side quest. One of the side quests is like going into the underwater area and saving a mermaid or saving a merman and leading him back to his beloved twin flame mermaid. It's a really cool, like very beautiful story. And I wanted to play, but because I had progressed in Nightmare Craft, the only way that I would have got this side quest story is to start the game over. And I was a little nervous. I was like, oh, if I start the game over, I'm going to have to cross that bridge again. Because once you cross it, it's done. Just like what Jason and Chrissy were saying, once you've healed something, it's done. But I was like, all right, I want to save that mermaid couple. I want to do it. I want to get these new augments. And so I restarted. And it took me 9 tries to get into the house and ride the unicorn. It was really cool. You can see through gaming, like if for in my example, like nothing's happening on my twin flame journey. I don't know his phone number even, like just nowhere. But all these other places in my life are you can actually see your progress, and that's really cool. And it's cool to see, to know that like God's not going to lead you to water without a pitcher, and your persistence does pay off. It's not like you're just running after a carrot that you'll never get. So I just wanted to share that, like gaming has been, especially divine gaming, has been so helpful to me on my journey with persistence.
I absolutely love that. And that sounds so cool. It sounds like so parallel to like real life and this journey. And it reminds me of like feeling like you're experiencing the same block over and over and over and over again, and having to be like so persistent in healing it and clearing it for good, and recognizing that you're only going deeper. Like each time you meet the block or the upset, you're just going deeper into it. And like my coaches have had to remind me, and I think Jeff even mentioned this in one of the live classes, where he was saying like you're probably going to find a block where you're going to have to see it over and over, like a spiral. You come back around to the same block and you're going to get hit again and knocked down again, hit again, knocked down again. And persistence is like really key there. And I really like what Chrissy was saying about how you have to be willing to have compassion for yourself and forgive yourself and let go of all of those negative feelings and judgments that you have when you come up to these blocks that you keep seeing over and over again, because that lack of forgiveness or those negative feelings, the guilt, the shame, like they teach you in math, that's not serving you at all, right? It's only keeping you stuck. And so it's only when you let go of, you know, any sort of negativity and embrace compassion, acceptance, that actually helps you to move through the blocks a lot easier. And I'm definitely learning that as well. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Lisa. Yeah, that's so cool that the game is like completely parallel to this journey, and it sounds really rewarding.
Yeah, I had to kind of like hold back the tears when I was listening to you, Lindsay, because what you were sharing about the game was applicable to other like in regards to, for me, building a family right now. And I was I told this, I shared this with Paco very recently too. It's like I didn't even knew I had that deep desire of family, and of course, like it gets challenging with it, like, you know, with the child, doesn't matter what age they are. And there are moments where I'm like, you know what, I'll just get out of the table. Like, it's not even worth it. It's like so uncomfortable. But then again, it's like, okay, just breathing, keep putting one foot in front of another. And when we move through the challenge, oh my God, it gets so good. So it was like I was listening to her and I was kind of like compounding all of the, like how I'm seeing this apply in my life, and I was like, okay, tearing up. But it's a beautiful journey, as challenging as it can be, and it's like no wonder it's one of the 8 fundamental keys to harmonious thinking union. Without persistence, nobody would be really getting anything, not anything they want, at least. So yeah. I don't know if you want to share something. I'm gonna stop here because otherwise I'm gonna start crying again.
Just listening.
Yeah,
And
it's a topic that is very close to my heart, and I start realizing it more and more.
Yeah, beautiful.
Like, yeah, when you turn around and you suddenly realize you've manifested something that you've been wanting for so long. Like, my twin flame union has been a more than 30-year dream that I had. It's like, I want to find my perfect man. And everything that got into place for me to kind of like follow the breadcrumbs and get to this point and persist in our union, as challenging as that was. Like, a lot of us in the community have those moments where I'm like, I'm not going to participate in this discussion anymore. You just go ahead and fix it and call me when you're done with that. And like they were saying, and they were quoting from the book, from Twin Flames Finding Your Ultimate. It's like 2 ducks.
So
it's like
we are sometimes that way.
Yeah.
And then one woman will make this core choice, like they shared always together, and then we realize, that's the core choice.
Yeah.
And nothing goes over this core choice. It's always the core choice.
Yeah, and it was very tied in with what Alexandra was also recalling from one of the life purpose classes. Is, are you moving towards your goals, like your dreams? And I remember Jeff also saying somewhere, I don't remember if this was a meme or in a blog, but he was like, ask yourself, is this the thing that is gonna make me like throw in the towel? And kind of like always ask that question when you're in those I don't know how to say it in English. You know, kind of like when you go down the woods and you finally see like these two roads opening up in front of you, and like, okay, I have three options. I go either left, right, or back. So what is the thing that it's gonna like stop me or prevent me from going from moving forward? And the answer should always be nothing.
I remember just saying, I don't know where, but when you are in this state, you always say, I give up tomorrow. And you say that then every day, I give up tomorrow.
Oh, that's a very nice trick. You remind me of a little joke that some people in commerce had in Buenos Aires. It's like, we're gonna lend you the product for the money tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow never came. So that's a very good one. Yeah.
I think I know the quote you're thinking of. It's, is this the day I give up, or is this the day I cover more ground on this?
Yeah. Thank you.
I think
exactly.
I'm still not quite there, but it's
closer than
I remember
than me.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched a TFAS class where it was funny. Jeff was talking to a student about persistence and about moving through a block and kind of avoiding it for a long time, and like I was sick, and then I got to get my rain jacket on and my boots, and I was just dying laughing because it is exaggerating kind of like the pattern of like trying to like, no, I don't want to move through this challenge. No, 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 no. I don't want to do it. No, 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 no. And then finally we decide to do it. And then once we're like, giving ourselves a bunch of praise, then it's like there's another upset. What? And I thought that was funny because it's true. And in that humor, you can kind of like let go and just be like, all right, this is how to ride the waves. This is what the ocean feels like. There's another wave, and it's okay. And you just become better and more peaceful at moving through.
Yeah. I was gonna say you really have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, like in this journey, and pushing through the upsets. Like that was a big thing for me. Right now, actually, it's a big thing in that I'm letting go of this pattern of putting off my upsets. Like, yeah, I feel upset, but I'll do the mirror exercise a little later when it really feels bad. I'll just wait. And it's like, that's not the answer. Like, it's better to just do it now. And I remember saying to my coaches, I'm like, if I heal it right now, I just know another one is going to come up and it's going to keep coming and keep coming. And they're like, yeah, this is the journey. This is the choice, right? Like, and so it's like what Lisa was saying, like you just kind of got to get used to how the waves move and kind of just flow with it and surrender to it. So yeah, that's been a big lesson for me.
Yeah, I totally resonate. I have kind of like the same thing. I have to be completely honest. There are upsets I would rather not have to look. So I'm gonna pretend that nothing is there, and of course, like that's impossible. So you kind of like, yeah, okay, I just surrender. I'm gonna move through this. And like Jason and Chrissy were sharing through the sermon, it does get better. Like the more you do it, the more you keep persisting. It's like growing a muscle. And at the beginning might seem a little bit daunting, depending on what it is that you're looking or what it is that you're healing. But that's the whole point. It's like Jeff and Shaleia always say, it's about going back to the place that hurt you, but this time with love. And so, of course, going back to that place where it doesn't feel quite good, it's might be a little challenging. And we are kind of like hardwired to go where the pleasurable thing is and avoid what doesn't feel pleasant. And I like that this is something that at the end, at the closing of the sermon, Laurentia and Alexandra also were touching upon, which is learning to get clear on what is the good versus the pleasant choice. Which one is really giving you what like you desire, and which one is kind of like a high choice, as they were also saying in the sermon. And I of course had a lot of that too in the past as well. I sometimes might still do, but we are kind of like getting better at catching ourselves doing that and saying, no, okay, I would rather not rush and like persist and be patient with the process, but be certain of the next step when I take it, rather than making a choice in a place that I don't really have that clarity just yet.
Like the shared too, when you are in the state of you feel you are right, or when you have to heal through, that you feel you are more aware of what is going on than God. I had it too. I had to acknowledge to myself, you're arrogant, you think you know better than God. And then I just said, okay, I accept it, it's obvious. And so I chose to always see it through God's eyes. And that was the choice I made again and again. And I persisted through this arrogance I was used to, or I learned in me growing up, or from other people. And it felt so relieving. It feels so good.
Yeah, but sometimes it's we believe that we know better because we are also very attached to what we have. Because you were saying
Exactly.
that, and I was remembering like
Exactly.
Chrissy brought up again like this very, very famous meme of the little girl holding that little teddy bear, and she's having a bigger one behind her back, and just trust me, give me the little bear. I have something much better for you. But because you cannot see what's coming, you're kind of like, oh, I want to just hold on to these, and this is good for now. But you like neither of us really have any idea, and most of us, whenever we hit like that breakthrough, we are oftentimes extremely surprised. We are getting more than we've asked for, in a very good way.
Yeah, and being persistent to really get clear 100% is key here too. Not doing this pleasant choice. Okay, I feel that now, that's it now, and I'm doing that. No, just doing it from the place where you really feel this peaceful, grounded, 100% clarity. And from that place, you just do it. But it's also a block where the owner said, yeah, you have to go there again and again and again and again, and then it's not there anymore. Kind of you don't know, because your life just feels more peaceful.
Yeah, like Lizzie with the example of the bridge. Like she did it 100 times, and then she got it, so she didn't have to do it anymore. And
then she went again 9 times, and then she was able to go to the mermaid man and mermaid woman
and ride the unicorn.
And
oh my god, like that is priceless. When you shared like ride a unicorn, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
I highly recommend, if you have not played Nightmare Craft. I am not a professional gamer. I've always wanted to play more video games, so I don't have that much experience, but I was able to do it, right? Like other people too. Like it's for everybody. It's not just like for like just a game for gamers. Like it's a game for everybody. So highly recommend.
Yeah. How do you feel? Would somebody wants to share something from the sermon? Is there something you would like to share and talk about? Deborah has something in her heart, but she's not.
I kind of forgot about it. It slipped my mind.
It slipped your mind.
Then I feel like Lizzie might have like the next piece. I feel like she might have something more that she wanted to share. But
yeah, I think there was something like it was around what Lorenzo and Alexandra shared, and it's similar to what we've all been talking about. But they said that when it's at the end, when you keep choosing instant gratification, then you're not building persistence. Like you're not getting to experience your own persistence muscle, as it were. They didn't say that, but that's what I interpreted. And like I see that's completely true. Like circling back to what Diana and I were sharing about our way of eating journey, like the instant gratification wants to reach for the snack, the cookie, the extra helping, whatever we do. That's, in my experience, like I reach for snacks because I'm feeling or I'm bored or whatever it is. And I never get to flex my muscles of persistence, my spiritual muscles of persistence when I do that. So being, aware that I have weak persistence muscles in that area helps me to be more compassionate with myself and to encourage myself and reach for help or make a new choice in that place. Even if I just bring awareness to it, like, oh, I'm feeling a little weak here, and bringing that awareness into that place really, really helps. The same thing goes for my twin flame journey. I remember for so long, I would do the inner work and heal a block, and then Josh would text me and I'd be like, oh, I cleared it, and just kind of like jump way over the building of the relationship part into like, now we can be in union, and like uh missed a whole bunch of red flags that were there, like a whole lot. Just kind of was like, it doesn't matter, he's just me, he's my twin flame, and didn't realize that I wasn't going to lose him if I just took it one step at a time and didn't, avoid looking at the things he was showing me that didn't actually feel good. It was like that rush to get into union, kind of like the spiritual high of it. But God taught me through contrast, and that's okay. I don't recommend that way for everybody, but now I'm kind of rebuilding in a very grounded, peaceful way, and I'm really proud of myself and persisting through, the feelings that are coming up, and persisting and claiming my union and loving my man, and persisting through forgiveness. So there's all kinds of things that I now see about myself that I'm making new choices in those places, and then it makes me feel good about myself. So amen to that.
I love everything you just said, Lisi. Like it just resonates 100% for me, like the weight loss and the twin flame part. For the weight loss piece, I appreciate you saying that you really have to build that muscle, because I don't think I thought of it that way. Like you said, you have to be aware that I have a weak muscle in this area, right? I turn to snacks when I'm bored or something like that, and I'm ready to build my persistence muscle and making a new choice. And so yeah, I'm definitely going to keep that in mind as I continue through that journey. And then same thing with the twin flame part. I was saying this in my sessions as well, that as soon as I'm feeling good and I'm feeling at peace and I feel like I've made all the right choices, that's when I get the text, and that's when I get the, hey, let's be together. And then I immediately take the bait, and like you said, just kind of ignore all of the other red flags. And yeah, my coaches Adam and Brianne were saying, because we called it taking the bait. And I'm like, he just throws out the bait every time I feel good. And I'm like, are you saying that I shouldn't take the bait, or I should just take a little bit of the bait? And they're like, we're saying turn to God, like go back to your relationship with God and what feels at peace. And if it doesn't feel 100% at peace, then continue to work through the blocks. Don't just throw it all out and, you know, take the bait. So yeah, I really appreciate you sharing your piece, Lisi.
Yeah, thank you. That's helpful what you shared too. I'll remember that also. Thank you.
You remember what you would like to share?
I already did.
Oh, I see. Divine Feminine shared what the Divine Feminine wanted to share.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's very beautiful. I liked it also very much what you shared now and how it helped you to persist on your body healing journey and also on your twin flame journey. With persistence, you also learn to recognize the red flags and becoming aware of them. And with the teaching, we know what to do when we see the red flags. We do not need to ignore them in truth, and we can see, okay, that's where we are at right now, and that's totally fine because I choose to change, and I can change in a loving, grounded, and peaceful way.
And compassionate.
And I do it again and again. And like Jason said, we just keep going no matter what. I like that. Keep going no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, I always love that. You only give up. You only lose if you give up. For me, it kind of like summarizes how important persistence is.
Yeah, I feel complete. Do you feel complete? Do we have comments yet?
No,
First
not
we have
really.
comments.
No. There were a few thank you and hellos.
Yeah, hello and thank you to all, to the audience. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here and just watching us discussing this.
Just sharing our after
juicy topic.
church
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel complete, Lisi, Diona? Yeah. Yeah, I say thank you to all of you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. And we see us in the next after church tea time. Bye.
Thank you.